After this video, you will know how to classify the different carbohydrates and how they affect cardiometabolic health. First, there are carbohydrates that can be easily digested, which includes sugars. Sugars occur naturally in foods, for example in fruits, or they can be added to foods like soda, candy and cookies for a sweeter taste. Sugars usually consist of one or two sugar molecules called mono and disaccharides, or simple carbohydrates. Monosaccharides are glucose, galactose and fructose. Examples of disaccharides are lactose in milk and sucrose, which is common sugar. Sucrose, also called saccharose, consists of a glucose linked to a fructose. Simple carbs like sucrose are easily absorbed. They cause a rapid glucose peak in the blood, followed by an insulin response, and they are an immediate source of energy to the body. A high intake of added sugars, especially from sugar-sweetened beverages, is a risk factor for overweight and type 2 diabetes. The World Health Organization recommends that people get less than 10% of daily energy from sugars and suggests even a further reduction to less than 5%. That includes added sugars, but also sugars in honey, syrups and fruit juices. Starches are present in large amounts in staple foods like potatoes, rice, wheat and pasta. They consist of multiple sugar units called polysaccharides or complex carbohydrates. Compared to simple sugars, they take more time to digest. Starch-rich foods also raise blood glucose. Replacement of simple with complex carbs has a beneficial effect on blood LDL cholesterol, but no notable effect on blood pressure or body weight, as shown in randomized trials. We now move to indigestible carbohydrates, or the dietary fibers. They are present in plant foods such as whole grain bread and cereals, legumes, nuts, fruit and vegetables. Fibers are not digested by enzymes in the small intestine, and therefore they don't cause a peak in blood glucose. Fibers slow down gastric emptying and have a bulking effect in the gut. They enhance feelings of satiety. And that may be one of the reasons why a fiber-rich diet helps maintain a normal body weight. A high intake of dietary fibers, say above 25 grams per day, has consistently been associated with lower risk of type 2 diabetes, coronary heart disease and stroke. And these risk reductions may amount to 10% for every 10 gram higher intake of fiber per day. Fiber-rich diets also seem to lower the risk of chronic kidney disease. And we know from randomized trials that dietary fibers have a small beneficial effect on blood pressure. In several studies, people with a high fiber intake had less inflammation in their blood. And some argue that dietary fibers enhance the body's immune system because they promote the growth of good bacteria in the gut. A strong immune system may protect against cardiometabolic diseases. Foods that contain fiber are often rich in heart-healthy minerals such as potassium and magnesium, and also vitamins such as vitamin C and beta-carotene. What I even find more interesting, they also contain a wealth of non-nutrient plant compounds called phytochemicals. Recent studies suggest that phytochemicals may be more important than vitamins for cardiometabolic health. Flavonoids are an example of a promising group of phytochemicals. To better understand the health effect of dietary fibers, scientists have proposed different ways of classifying them, based on viscosity, solubility or fermentability. Let's go for viscosity. Viscous fibers form a jelly-like mass in the digestive system. Fermentation of viscous fibers by gut bacteria produce short-chain fatty acids that provide the body with energy. You can get your viscous fibers from fruits, nuts, oats, legumes and some other vegetables. Randomized trials have shown that beta-glucans from oat germ and pectins from fruit lower blood LDL cholesterol. And that may be one of the reasons why eating these fibers is good for your heart. Then we have the non-viscous or insoluble fibers. They don't form gels, are less fermentable, and not important for the production of short-chain fatty acids. Are they useless? No, not at all. They enhance satiety feelings and slow down gut transit time. But they do more. Non-viscous fibers from whole grains and brand products have been consistently associated with a lower risk of cardiovascular disease and diabetes. In randomized trials, these fibers improved insulin resistance. And scientists now want to understand why. The effects of weight loss are only modest, so that cannot be the only explanation. You now know that it's important which sources of carbohydrates you choose. Foods that are rich in added sugars, especially soft drinks, put you at higher risk of overweight and type 2 diabetes. Foods rich in fiber could lower your cardiometabolic risk in many ways, so they are a much better choice. Like they say, an apple a day keeps the doctor away.